This is the Roger Orozco Show.
All right, guys, welcome to the show. The star, Ashton. A special guest, a school board member, Mrs. Alanis.
Yes.
And Mr. Bejarano, the ex-SRO on campus.
Yes.
School campuses. Mrs. Alanis running for running to be reelected.
Right.
Hopefully.
Area 1.
Area 1. So we're just going to do a quick interview.
Okay.
I wrote down some questions.
Okay.
Mrs. Alanis was, I guess, willing to come on the cave. Okay, so question number 1. The last contract, the last school year contract.
The one that we just got.
Yes.
I want to kind of go back to the one before that.
Okay, yeah, please.
Okay, so we went back. We went back, and it was in 2003 where they moved the salary schedules up, and then they gave bonuses and a percentage and stuff like that. That fiscal impact was $4,195,061. That's $4 million ongoing money that came out of the general fund.
What year was that?
I think April 2023.
Okay, I thought you said 2003. Okay.
No, 2023.
Okay.
So I requested that we go to fact finding.
Yeah.
So we want to go to fact finding because we want to make sure that we have the money.
Yes.
Nobody wanted to go to fact finding, so I was outvoted, which I'm okay. I'm okay with being outvoted as long as I'm able to say what I want to say. My voice needs to be heard. So we went through 2 different independent, I guess, auditors, and they came back. Both of them said you have more money going out than you have money coming in.
Oh, yes.
Okay, so when we finally went, we had the second auditor from school services, and he was talking about all the money going out and all the budgets and everything like that. And so I said, hey, if I was holding out for fact finding, and then he said, if you would have held out and you guys went to fact finding, it would have justified your stance.
Oh, yes, I remember that. It was a meeting December 13th.
Yes, he said it would have justified.
Yeah.
And I really wish that we would have held out, because $4 million ongoing money out of the general fund is gonna be, we're just kicking the can down the road. We're just kicking the can.
Yeah.
And we can't do that, because the only ones that are suffering are the kids, because we're not able to give them what they deserve.
Yeah. Now, didn't they bring up going to fact finding again?
Yes, and I think he came back and said, well, I got new information.
Yeah.
We're okay. We're not okay.
Yeah. But after that contract, when you guys were doing this year's contract, that was an issue again, right? Talking about going to fact finding?
I don't believe we talked about going to fact finding there.
Okay.
Everybody voted on what they presented to us. I kept asking, where's this money coming from? How can we justify giving out the raises that we did when our COLA was only going to be, I believe, 1.77? How can we give out 5%? Where are we getting that money? How can you justify that down the road?
Yeah.
So once again, I was outvoted, which is okay. Just the only ones that are going to be hurt down the road are the kids.
So where did that money come from?
I don't know. I never got an answer.
That's a big deal.
That is a big deal to me.
So there was no answer. So you didn't vote for it.
No, I didn't.
But other members did vote for it with no answer.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes. Yeah. So I was really disappointed, because regardless of what people think, when you go on the board, yes, you do have one employee. That's the superintendent. But you have to make sure that you're doing due diligence, doing your homework, checking what's going on, because you're responsible for him, and he or she is responsible for everybody else.
And you work for the people.
Yes, I work for my constituents.
Yeah. So far, it looks like you're the only one.
Well, I can't.
In my personal opinion.
Okay. I can't speak for anybody else, but I want what's best for the district, the kids, everybody. Okay, so when I came on the school board, I was really surprised. I was so surprised, because there was just so much going on. It was unbelievable. I was shocked.
Yep.
And then we had an attorney, and we talked about the salaries. And then I said, how can you justify giving these salaries? You know what he told me?
What?
We just laid people off.
Oh, if
Oh,
you cut
no.
the money, if money
Yeah,
gets
if
tight.
you don't, if the budget doesn't balance, you just lay people off.
Yeah.
And I said, oh, no, 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 no. I said, so
Irresponsible.
what if you have a cook and a teacher and they're brand new?
Yeah.
They both get laid off. They have no benefits. They have nothing. And we just did that because we're irresponsible in budgeting.
Yeah.
I'm not doing that.
Yeah.
Well, everybody does that. I'm not everybody.
Yeah.
So that really bothered me, and I'll never forget them telling me that. So then we came in, and I believe you were on the board, and we said we want a 10% reserve.
That became a policy.
Yes.
10% reserve.
Yes.
On the last update, is it at 10%?
No, it's something like 8 or 9 or something.
That was on the last one.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I'm like, why can't we keep 10%?
Yeah, you can
Why
do it.
can't we?
Now, I've heard somebody say, hey, it's hard to get it at 10 because it goes over. Well,
Yes.
you can go over and then spend down a little
Yeah.
bit. Or you can designate that money,
Right.
from what I understand.
Right.
So there's really no excuse.
No.
So I think we did a video one time. I think it was me, Caesar. I'm not sure. But we did a video where we said the school board has to follow its own policy too.
Yes.
You know, the reserve
Yes.
has to be 10%.
Right, right. And you know, and people think that I'm going in there blasting everybody, blasting certain groups of employees, but I'm not. I'm trying to make sure that we're fiscally responsible so everybody keeps their jobs. The kids get what they need, and the teachers went, because we're going to have we're going to go over the cliff.
You're going to
We're
have to come
gonna-
to Jesus pretty soon.
Yeah.
It's going to be a 2018
Yeah.
deal all over again.
We're going to have
Oh.
that because the governor's even talking about some scary stuff that he wants to do to balance the budget, and it's not looking good for the schools. So if we would have just been fiscally responsible, we could try to save everybody's jobs. We would have no lack of programs. I do not want to get rid of any programs. And people have to understand that each sector in the district or each class of employees is equally important. We couldn't send our kids to school without janitorial staff, without the cooks,
Oh, yeah,
without the
everybody.
bus
most
drivers,
important.
without anything. So everybody has to understand that when we give huge salaries,
Yeah, they're ongoing.
yeah. And they have to understand that it's that Me Too thing.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
So on this last contract, right?
Right.
They brought up a Me Too for
It was
management. And I heard a lot of stuff about, hey, management has to go up because everybody else is going up.
Right.
So it's just this big circle.
And
that
when I got on
happens.
board, that's one of the first things that I heard is like if you have these huge salaries, they're going to bump up, and then now you have to bump up administration
Yeah.
because they can't work. These people can't be
Making
making
more.
more than your administration. So it's just a snowball effect.
Yeah. And so people know there's been some massive increases.
Oh yeah.
So, and one of the things that we were upset about was Measure L.
Okay. Yes.
So you got Measure L, and I was there when it came on, and one of the promises
Right.
that, hey, we're going to go to third-party fact-finding.
Right.
We're not going to go over the 8%, 7 and 1,
Right.
the 8%.
Right.
And you should, and the district shouldn't have because they told the people that.
Right.
Pass Measure L.
Right.
This is where we're at this point.
Right. Right.
And when we were there, it was you're not going over that.
Right. We were promised not to take any salaries out of Measure L because it was for facilities.
Okay.
Nothing.
So that's So,
So
a
we-
salary is coming.
A
coming out of
salary
it.
is coming out
You
of there.
voted no.
I voted no.
remember
So I
that.
get there and they bring it up, and our current superintendent brought it up, and I said we promised the people that we would not use salaries for these funds.
Yes.
And then they said, well, we already talked to the attorney, and the attorney just said it was okay. And I said, just because it's okay doesn't mean that's what we're going to do.
Because you told the people.
We
you
promised
told
the
Caesar, You
people.
told Ashton. You told me. You told the people. The district told
Yes.
the people no salaries.
Right.
Now it's not a full salary, but I think it's a partial, right?
I
but
think
it doesn't
it's
even
like
matter.
60%.
Yeah, but it don't even matter.
Yeah.
Just that $1
Yes.
came out of it. There's
Yeah.
even some literature that
Right.
came out that
Right.
said you weren't going to do that. So that got
Right.
That got a lot of us riled up. Like, hey. Just because they said it's okay, so I'm glad you did that.
Yeah.
So we were all proud of you. Hey,
Wow.
hey, Rosemary kept her word to the
It's
people.
because we
you
promised.
were the only one, though.
We
yeah.
were promised.
But the other ones didn't do it, but you did. So there's a difference in people, in board members.
Yeah.
You've kept the promise to the people.
Wow.
This is why we're supporting you.
And thank you, Rosemary, for
Yeah,
being
for doing
consistent with taking care of our kids,
Yeah.
of Selma, and whoever disputes that take your time, do your due diligence,
Your
and
own.
review the votes of your school board, and you'll know who is a true advocate for your kid.
Right.
Yeah, if you watch the meetings, you'll see it.
Watch
Yeah.
it.
So yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you, Rosemary.
Another, you guys put me up there. I work for you guys, and you know what people don't
Yeah.
understand is that we don't get paid for it. We get $20 a meeting.
Yeah.
You could have my $20, and I don't have any kids in the school district. But so I'm like, why do I go there?
Yeah.
Why do I take all this
You want to make a difference.
slamming? Because I care about the kids. Because it takes a village to raise the kids.
And these guys, so we all have kids. These guys should always be put
Yes.
up, put up on
They're
the store.
priority.
They're the
Yeah.
priority.
Yeah.
So you were there when we were there. Towards the end, that's all we would talk about.
Right.
Them first. Be fair
Right.
to everybody. Man, I don't even hear that no more, except from your mouth sometimes. That's it.
Yeah.
So it's very disappointing on the other side.
One
But
of
that's the difference.
Well-
That's why. That's why
Yeah.
we're supporting you.
yeah.
Help it. Try to
So
help
one of the other things that I want to talk about is curriculum.
it. Go for it.
Okay. So when I got on the board, I could not understand why we kept promoting kids. They are failing in their test scores, their state test scores. They're just failing. We just we promote them. We promote them. By the time they get to junior high, that's it.
Yeah.
By the time they get to high school, we've really lost them. So I kept saying, why do we continue to promote these kids who are not learning?
Yeah.
So I had an employee come to me and said that she went to her kids' back to school night or open house, and she saw her parent teacher conference. Her kid was doing perfect in the test scores with the class. That's the district wide test scores. But when she did the state test, she was like failed everything. So then I'm like, what is going on here? So I come to find out that our curriculum was not
Up to par.
up to par with what the state is.
And the state's the big deal.
Yes.
'Cause everybody's taking the same test.
So we got to get on board and get our curriculum to where it should be.
Yeah.
So right now, I've talked to teachers, superintendents, tutor. What do you guys call them? They're not tutors. They're
Coaches?
Coaches, the intervention.
intervention. So this weekend. I talked to another board member from another school. And we were talking about curriculum, and I'm like, we're kind of the blended whole language. And she's like, what? You guys are using whole language? And I said, well, we're trying to go over, we're just going to start going over blah, blah, blah. And then that is ludicrous. That's ludicrous that you guys are still using that curriculum. And it's just frustrating. Like, why are we, I'm sure we're getting on there now, but we should have done that a long time ago.
Yeah.
Because think of all the kids that left our school that didn't have that benefit.
Yeah. Yeah.
We-
So it's all about education.
We failed the kids
Yep.
that left us before. We failed. The board failed. And people,
The system.
yeah, the system failed. But and I say this all the time, and people get mad that I say it, but the board members are the gatekeepers.
Because they are.
Well, people don't understand that.
Yeah.
We're the gatekeepers. Like, we have one employee, but we have to make sure that they're doing what our vision is.
Yeah.
Yeah,
so,
but that one employee is responsible for all the employees.
Yes.
Yeah. So, so the board gives direction.
Right.
And the superintendent, so it's the what, superintendent is the why.
Right.
I watch those meetings; they don't look like that.
No, it's not.
It looks like the board's being told,
Right.
and they're just accepting
right.
it.
Right.
Except for you, because I see you're the only one questioning
Well,
stuff.
and if anybody questions that, look at the voting record.
Yeah.
Yeah. Not only that, because you'll hear like, "Oh, everything's great. Everything's
not great.
great."
It's not great.
That's what you hear though
It's
from
not great.
the wannabe politicians on
It's
there.
not great. We need to make sure that we keep our reserves up. We need to make sure that we allocate money where it's supposed to go.
Yeah.
And we need to make
Hold people accountable.
Yes, and we need to hold people accountable. When little Susie can't read, why can't she read? Because if you can't read and then you go and do math problems, you're going to fail there.
Yeah.
Because you can't read.
Yeah. So you remember you were there when you asked the question. There was the previous high school principal. The state testing came, and it was like, I think the high school at that time was maybe about 18%. So everybody was ticked off, and then you had asked, well, why is it so low? And the principal at that time said, well, I think it's because it's become accepted here.
Oh my gosh, that
It's
shocked me.
Yeah.
Yes.
So it's become accepted.
Yes.
So we pay all this money to intervention. You pay all this money
Yeah.
everywhere, and it's accepted. So they needed
Yeah.
they needed someone. They needed to be jarred. They needed,
Right.
They needed a kick in the butt.
Right.
And so you have to have bosses.
Right.
This district doesn't like to have bosses.
Well-
the board is supposed to be the boss.
Right. Right.
But you come under fire if if you try to do what you're supposed to do.
Right.
But it is what it is.
And
those
you
are the
know-
real people, though.
We need to make sure that our kids are taken care of.
Mm-hmm.
That's the number one thing, because if we didn't have the kids, nobody would have jobs.
Yeah. It should be a privilege to work here. I mean,
Yes. And I talked to some teachers, and I had a teacher tell me, this was a quote, we don't need that much money. We have excellent salaries here. We're paid very, very well. But if
They
the
are.
board is stupid enough to give us that money, we're going to take it.
Right.
I will say,
He told me that.
Yeah. No, I believe it.
What am
I've
I-
heard that too.
several of my son's teachers, actually all his teachers, emailed me back, are very in tuned. I will applaud them for that. And one of them continuously keeps me updated on his progress almost daily. It's a daily summary, it's called.
That's awesome.
Those are excellent teachers right there.
Yeah.
That's somebody that truly cares. And we do have them at the
Yeah.
high school. We
Yeah.
just have to reinforce it.
Yeah.
Yes.
So when we talk about contracts, you're not singling out. Some people
No.
take it the wrong way, like, oh, you hate teachers. No,
Yes,
no.
that's what
No,
they
no,
always
no.
say.
Absolutely.
When it's about the contract, you got contract negotiators, and
Yes.
so let's say what's happened, and tell me if this sounds right. I don't know if these are the exact numbers, but I'm pretty sure they've gone up from last year. The salary schedule had changed
Oh,
from
yeah.
1 to 9%, depending on your step and column.
Yes.
They got a 7 and 1, 8% raise. They got a 4% bonus, and then they go into this year's contract, and they were talking about, and it happened, a 3-year contract,
Right.
where everybody was fighting over 1%, but all of a sudden they found money
Yes.
to give 5%
Right.
if you signed a 3-year deal. The second year, just money for insurance,
Right.
about $1,000, and then the third year, 4%.
Yeah.
Well, I couldn't find where they got those numbers, where they got the
I
money.
don't
So
know.
I figured they shifted the money around.
Yes, they did.
But if you add up everything, that's like 30%.
Yeah.
That 5, the 4,
Yes.
not accounting.
I thought it was 19%. Or
Well,
20%.
this is where I'm getting those numbers. So 5 and 4 for the 3-year contract, not including the $1,000. So and the 200, just the 5 and 4. So if you go back to the salary schedule changes, it was anywhere from 1 to 9.
yes.
So the top out one,
Yes.
there was a handful of people that got 9.
Yes.
And then there was a 7 and 1, which is 8. So you got 8 and 9 for 17. 4% bonus is
Yeah.
21.
So you're
and then you get
counting
the
the
5
year
and the
before.
4. Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
counting the 2 year.
Oh, okay,
the
okay,
2
okay.
years that
Yes,
there's been
yes,
contracts.
you're absolutely
so
correct.
about 30%.
Yes.
Now, if I owned a business, I could never give 30%
Right.
out because that's a ton of money. If you make 100 grand, am I giving out 30 in a year? That's 30 grand.
Right.
Or close to it, even if it's only for 1
Yeah.
year. I could never do that as a business owner.
No.
But it's been done.
Yes.
It's been done with the taxpayer money, and after Measure L passed.
Yes, yes.
Hey, they asked the people to tax themselves to help it with the schools,
Right.
and then this exorbitant amount of money is
Right.
now given out to the employees.
Right.
Now, I'm not talking bad about the employees, but you asked me to tax myself, and
Yeah.
you gave out this money.
Right.
That's a bad deal.
Right.
And most people don't know that.
Yeah. So
And it's not even that. It was promised that we're going to do something else with it.
Yeah, they promised a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
So we have to, so that's why I say we have to really be fiscally responsible. If we're not fiscally responsible, why are we there?
Yes.
If I want to be on the board, but I don't want to do diligence and check everything and question everything and make sure that everybody's held accountable, why am I there?
Yeah. Why? Yeah.
Why am I? I'm just going to a meeting to do what?
Yeah.
Nothing.
Nothing.
So then somebody told me the other day, you remind me of John Larona. And I'm like,
A female Larona?
I said, is that good or bad? And I was like,
it's great.
Because I was not around when he was in.
I was there with him.
On the
Yeah,
board.
Yeah, yeah. You know him.
It was one of the employees, and they're like, you kind of remind me of John LaRona. I
female
said, Who's
LaRona.
John LaRona? I said, I don't know if that's like a compliment or. And they're like, his meetings used to go long because he questioned everything. I said, but that's what you have to do. You have to question everything. Yeah.
Yeah, you should question everything.
Yes.
And the one thing I'll say about Mr. LaRona is I sat with him for years. He never lied. They didn't like what he had to say sometimes, but he never lied to the people. Well, while I was there was other board members that lied to the people.
Yeah.
They lied.
Yeah.
I actually had a board member come here to tell me why they lie. It's garbage. But
when you're on the board, you have to be transparent to your constituents.
You have to talk to them.
Yes.
And once you lose your constituents, you're done.
Yeah.
You're done, man. I mean.
And we have trainings. They're called MIG trainings, Masters in Governance Training. And they have different sections, fiscal, accountability, whatever. But one of them was like, you have to, your constituents are your bosses.
Yes,
you
they are.
have to talk to your constituents.
Yeah. So you don't. So our guy don't talk. We walk the streets for somebody that doesn't talk to us. So we're gonna walk the streets against him next time.
Yeah.
Gonna walk the streets for you because you kept your word.
Yeah.
And you have the guts to come here.
I'm absolutely going door to door because
Me too.
you are the only one that continuously kept your word for our kids
Yep.
and our parents of Selma.
Yeah. Thank you.
And everybody, our staff as well.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You're welcome. I am not against any staff member,
No.
but
No.
I want to make sure people have to understand that I want to make sure that everybody keeps their jobs.
Yeah.
Everybody, because everybody's important.
2018 was really bad for.
Oh yeah.
I think
2018.
it was 2018.
It's 2018,
It
man.
was horrific.
Yeah.
Yeah. And they still didn't learn their lesson.
Nope.
Yeah.
So.
All right, man. Getting back to it, Rosemary. I'm gonna bring up the wrestling. Right, Ash?
Ash, wrestling mood.
Yeah, I'm gonna bring up the wrestling facility story. It's a great story because it's been an item for Lord knows how long.
Yeah.
So
the wrestlers, I don't remember how it started. I think it was Caesar who started the momentum going, and the wrestlers definitely needed their own place.
yes,
For many years, they've had to share somewhere, and it just wasn't feasible for them anymore.
Can I intervene?
Yeah.
Okay. So how it all started, in our eyes, is Mr. Bejarano had asked about the wrestlers. We were talking about the wrestlers going to the board meetings. They go to the board meetings and they go up there to talk, but they're not on the agenda.
Right.
So Caesar had said, "Hey, it's like they're just like
Venting.
venting." So I had told Caesar, "Hey, it's because they're not on the agenda.
Right.
You got to get on the agenda." So Caesar went there to ask to put it on the agenda.
Right.
And it was a big deal. You
Oh
were
my
there.
gosh,
And,
it was a huge
And I
big deal.
believe that's when you were asking for someone to back you up to put it as an action item, right?
Right.
And nobody did.
No.
They were following what some of the admin was saying
Yes.
instead of listening to him and the
Right.
people that were there.
I had talked to a board member, and they're like, "Yeah, I'm gonna support you."
Oh yeah,
when
it's
you
probably
get
the
up,
one that went with him. To
when you get up,
wrestling facility.
we're gonna do it. And then when everybody was just like, Caesar was up there, the audience was like riled up.
Yeah.
I had a board member telling me, "Don't put it on there. Don't do it. Don't do it." And then
Wow,
I had the
Sickening.
Hey, listen to this, guys. They're telling her not to do it.
I had the superintendent at that time looking at me like glaring. I mean, if I could have holes in the back of my head, I would. But we put it on the agenda. We put it on the agenda.
You had to fight for it.
Right.
So, wait, not to interrupt you, but I want everybody to know this. This is a big deal. Caesar asked.
Yeah.
You were the only one. I asked
Right.
Mr. Fedor. He didn't get back to me.
Yeah.
Gilbert Lopez asked Mark Medina. Didn't get back to him. You were the only one that did
Right.
did what Caesar was asking
Right.
for.
So we got it on the agenda, and then it was passed to add it to the facility master plan. What really upset me is the previous superintendent put it so far out, so by the time we got to that project, we would have run out of money.
So it was put on, but it was put on down the line.
Right.
So now it became another fight to bring it closer.
We wanted it closer, but I must say, the superintendent now was able to get it closer.
Yeah.
So he went and
That's good. Good
Yeah,
job.
he did.
Oh, yeah.
I have to give
Thank
kudos
you.
where they're at.
Yeah, for sure. That's
But
great.
he, the superintendent now moved it closer. So 25, I think we start breaking ground. 25.
Now, was he asked to do that?
No,
He just did it.
he did it
Oh,
himself.
that's pretty good.
Yeah,
because
he did it himself.
I thought you guys would have gave him direction.
No,
for that.
he came in. He goes, "Hey, at that time I was board president." He goes, "Look what I found."
yeah.
I said, "Okay, what?" So he moved it from way out there to closer.
down the
So
line.
by 7 years we would have had it. But now breaking ground is 25,
So it's
26.
so it's coming up.
Yeah,
Oh, great.
So
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. So just so people can understand, the big fight, it passed once it got there, but
Yes.
but the actual fight
Yeah, it
is
was
to
a
get it
huge
on
fight.
the agenda.
yeah. When I was up there, I was looking
People-
around like, "Isn't anybody going to help me here?" It's
So
the first time I've
that
ever been
first time-
approached like that.
Yeah, so the first
Yeah.
time when you talked about it and Caesar was there,
Right.
You know, by the way, that's one of my favorite times because Caesar pounded on the podium and was all, "It's about our kids,
It
it's
is.
for our kids." It was awesome, and then you
Yeah.
were fighting for it, and that was a tipping point, right? Because you could see the board reacted to administration, not the people.
Yeah.
You reacted
Yeah.
to the people. And then come back the fight to get it on the agenda. Once it gets on the agenda, and then the wrestling community with Robert and people
Right.
coming put pressure to make it pass. It was
Right.
going to pass one.
Right.
But the real fight was the agenda fight, and nobody
Right.
knows that.
Right.
And you were fighting
That
that fight
was
to
a
get it on
huge
the
fight.
agenda.
Yeah.
To get it on the agenda.
Yeah.
So people
Once
need to
again,
know that.
Thank you.
Yeah.
For making
yeah.
the kids first of
Yeah.
Selma.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And man, that's awesome.
So,
Thank you.
So we just have to make
It's awesome.
sure that we take care of our kids and not let one fall through the cracks. We
Yes.
have to, and I talked to somebody when I was campaigning, and he told me, and it's never left me, and I talked to him again the other day, and he said, "Rose, I support you 100%. You tell me what I got to do, and I'll support you. But you remind me of somebody with a water hose trying to take a fire out of a barn." And I said, "I never really thought of that." That's what it is. You have a water hose, and there's this huge fire, and you're trying to put the fire out with the water hose. There needs to be more people on the board
I do that.
that are helping put the fire out.
So
I'm not saying I'm the
That's a
best.
good-
no.
It is a good. It made me really think.
Yeah, because when you watch the meetings, like the wrestling facility, when you were asking, "Hey, I want to put it on as action item," nobody supported the second.
Right. I was really
And,
disappointed.
and I think that happened because I heard what the administration was saying.
Yeah.
So they were following the administration.
Right.
Before that board with Fedor, Medina, and Sahota, when we were there, if
Yeah.
we said it was going to happen, it was
It
going to happen.
happened.
Unfortunately, that didn't come up during
Right.
that time. They didn't think
Right.
about it.
Right.
But when it came up here, they should have all been on it.
Right.
But they weren't.
No.
People need to
I would-
people need to recognize who's doing the work of the people.
Well.
This is why we wanted you to come and do the video.
I just think that we were put on. All of us were put on
We
there.
invite the other ones too.
Yeah.
Yeah. It'd be nice if you guys invite the other ones. Too.
Oh, I will
Oh,
invite them.
I'd
yeah.
love to.
Yeah.
But we shouldn't be. I was told by one of the board members, I can't sleep at night.
Oh,
I
yeah.
said, what?
It's probably the same guy who told me that.
He goes, I can't sleep at night. I said, I sleep like a baby.
Yeah.
And then he's like, how do you do it? And I said, because you vote what's right.
Your passion. So so you're passionate about it, so
Right.
it doesn't bother you.
Right.
When you're conflicted, it bothers you.
Yeah.
I think that's what he was trying to say
Yeah.
without saying it. That's why he felt like that.
After the
That's
meetings,
the same guy I think we're talking about.
I don't know. I after the meetings, I go home and I sleep good.
Yeah, that's awesome.
I sleep good because I feel even if everybody votes 4 against, and then 4 against 1, which is me as usual,
A lot of stuff.
it doesn't bother me because as long as my voice is heard,
And
Yeah.
you're doing the right, and you're trying to do the right.
I'm
thing for
trying
our
to do
kids.
the right thing.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. And then it looks like you're thinking, hey, your baby. It looks like to me, it looks like you're thinking, hey, this is what the public would want.
Yeah,
Where the other ones seem to be more worried about what the administration.
Well,
Right.
and that's when I walk the streets for you, that's the message you want to convey.
right.
Yeah.
And what you convey to the community then You have showed it and proved it throughout your tenure on the school board.
Right.
Yeah,
Not
so-
the opposite.
I've tried my best. But, I must admit, when we did this last raise, they asked us, which one did you pick? And then I circled one, but then when I went home that night, I'm like, this is not right. And so when I went the next day, I didn't vote for it. So I had the prerogative to change my mind, and I did because it wasn't right. It was not right to do that.
Which one was that? Was it the
This
three?
last
the
one.
3-year
Yes,
contract?
The 3-year. And that's good, except now we're locked in for that rate. And what if we can't sustain that money?
Yeah.
That salary?
Yeah, they'll
Well,
just.
didn't somebody say just to lay off people?
Yeah, I can't do that.
Yes.
Can be a little bit quieter.
Yeah, so the wrestling facility was a big thing for me. Those athletes deserved it.
The whole community. That's why I brought it up because they all should know.
Yeah.
You know, when this guy went,
Yeah, he did.
you were the only one that hurt
Yeah,
him. You
yeah.
were the only one.
Yeah.
They didn't do it.
But they needed it. It's been a long time overdue, long time.
Yeah.
But I must admit that our superintendent found that it was so far out that we would probably run out of funds. He brought it in himself, and he put it closer. So I think we would have measure out funds for that.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he was trying to make sure that it came closer.
Thank you, Superintendent.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's good, man.
Yeah.
Wow. Anything else?
I just want the people to know that I don't have kids in the district, but it's my passion to make sure that each kid has a voice. Each kid has a voice.
And you're not afraid to go against the grain?
I'm not. That's not me.
Nope.
But I'm hoping that people will understand my passion for the kids and put me back on.
Yeah.
Because we need that.
Yeah. So, hey, how about we have you come back in a couple weeks again?
That's fine.
You know, as we start the campaign,
Right,
let's update everybody.
Right.
What questions were you asked?
Right.
You know, what's been happening?
right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, is that
A lot
cool?
of people don't understand and that's another thing. People, you need to advocate for what you want.
Yes.
A lot of people don't know that we need stuff at our facilities, and people are afraid to go up there and ask for it. Don't be afraid.
Now, here's one thing. I don't know if you remember. There's the Brown Act book.
Right.
I'm gonna bring this up. So two things. So one thing is if you look in the Lozano Smith
Yes.
book that I have,
The handbook.
yeah, any parent or any person in this city can ask for an agenda item,
Yes.
and the school district has to
Right.
do it. It has to be within the parameters of the
Right.
school business,
Right.
and the school district can dictate when it goes on,
Right.
but they have to put it on.
Right.
And if they don't want to, like if Caesar wanted to, he did it when he went there and asked for it, and the admin didn't seem to want to do it. That's when you,
Yeah.
Sahota, Fedor, Kessler, and Medina should have said, he has the right, you better do it.
Yeah.
But they didn't. Only you did. And people need to know that. But they have the right for that to happen. The other
Right.
thing, and I want to bring this up, is there was kind of like a secret meeting almost. Mm-hmm. And there was some guys running for the city council, some people from the school board were there. 3 board members were there,
Right. Right.
which is a majority.
Right.
I don't know what truck driving by. I don't know what they said, but what I was told was your opponent was there,
Yeah. Yes.
and they were supporting the opponent.
Right. Right.
That's hideous.
Yeah.
I
was
mean,
very-
it would be hard for me to sit there with those guys. If Caesar would have done that with 3 other guys, and I walked in and I heard that, I walk in, I'd be like, man, what's wrong with you?
Yeah.
Why would you do that?
I thought it was very disappointing.
Disrespectful.
Disrespectful, and some of the citizens of the community are really upset about it.
Yes. Hey, we're citizens, man.
Yeah.
I'm pissed off that they did that to you.
Yeah. Well, they were just like, why didn't they invite the community?
Yeah. I mean, I
What
got
was
invited, but I got invited by a person, and I thought it was just for that person.
Yeah.
I didn't know they were going to do this. I wish,
Right.
man, I wish I would have went there because
Right.
I would have said, hey, what's this
Right.
all about?
So several people called me and told me what was discussed there. And I thought it was very, like you said, disrespectful. But that's on them. They're the ones that have to live with that.
Yeah, those are bad people.
Wow.
In my opinion, those guys
Yeah.
are bad. Those three.
Yeah. Well, I don't know that. I don't, like I said, I don't know what happened there. I just know what I was told, what was said there. And I would have never done that.
Yeah.
I would have never done that.
Yeah. That's.
Yeah, but look at the voting record. So
Yeah. All you gotta do is look at the voting record.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
So I wanted to bring that up.
okay.
That way.
Yeah. Yeah.
'Cause that way they know that you know.
Right.
That people know.
Yeah.
Because I got some phone calls about that too.
Right.
Yeah. People think that was wrong.
Yeah.
correct. I better not. No, I better not.
Yeah.
So, being on the board, being a board trustee is really, it's very time consuming. It takes time away from your family.
Yeah.
Some of my kids ask, why are you even doing this? You don't have any kids there.
Yeah.
Like, why are you getting the headache? And I said, because that's what we're there for, is to speak for the kids, to make sure that when they leave, they're successful citizens of society. They're not going to be in jail. They're not going to be taking, benefits or whatever. They're going to be productive members of society. They're going to be successful.
Yeah.
But if we don't stand up for them and make sure that they get the education that they deserve, then why are we on the board?
Exactly. And it's a passion, right?
Yeah.
And then once you start that passion,
And I've said this
it's hard to-
before, Rosemary. In my opinion, it doesn't only affect Selma. It affects our county. It affects our state. It affects our republic, the United States of America.
Right.
Because our kids from Selma fly away.
Yeah.
They go all over. It's a bigger issue.
Yeah.
And I've strongly believe that.
Yeah. But it's God's will if I go on, if I'm voted back in. It's God's will if I'm not. But my will is to be back in my seat.
Yeah.
But it's whatever God wants, that's where I'll go.
Yeah. We try hard.
Yeah, we got to.
Yeah.
Sure
So,
will.
But thank you for inviting me.
oh,
Do
yeah,
you have
no, for
any more
sure.
questions?
No, I'll call you if I do. Hey, but let's come back again.
Yes, for
Let's come
sure.
back. And then-
Anytime.
And then I'll invite those
If
other
If
guys.
there's any other candidates, please
Yeah, come in.
come in.
Come into the Lion's Den.
Yeah.
Please.
Yeah,
like
come
it.
into the Lion's Den.
Well, thanks, Rosemary. And then we'll do the update because I think it would be fun for people to hear. Hey, what's
Yeah.
been going on the last couple of weeks?
Right.
You
Right.
know? It'd be fun, man.
Yeah, it would be. Maybe we can one time talk about the health board.
Yeah.
That's really important.
There's gonna be a big change on that one too.
I know.
Yeah, maybe we'll do that on the next one.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Cool. All right. Well, hey, thanks for watching. Like, subscribe.
Thank you.
Thank you
Thank
again.
you.
This is Alanis for coming, and for doing a great job.
Yeah.
For listening to us.
Thank you for making our
Ashton,
kids
tell her thanks,
priority.
man. Yeah.
Before we cut out, I want to give kudos to the teachers and the staff that put their 100%
Oh,
in.
absolutely.
Yeah,
We
100%.
have teachers that wrote books. We have teachers at Abraham Lincoln. What is that where they teach you how to speak English?
Oh, is it not the new citizen?
Yeah,
I
the
forget what it's called. Is it Mr. Tovar?
yes,
Yeah, I forget what it's called.
excellent.
That's a great program.
Yeah, he's
Yes.
been doing that for a
Yes,
long
that's a
time.
great program.
Yeah, and he's all over.
He does great work.
All over the United States. He's just awesome. Then we have our dog mental health.
Oh, yeah,
That's
yeah.
been recognized by the board of, I think the board of superintendents.
Superintendents.
Other districts, other school districts
So-
want her to teach them.
Yeah, Christy does an awesome
Yes,
job.
she's invaluable.
Yeah. So there's a lot of good things,
Yes,
but it could be a lot better.
yes, it could.
So that's always been my whole thing
Yes.
is not to make it.
yeah.
It needs to be better. That's why
Yeah.
we do the show. There's
Yes.
a lot of stuff. You can pour a lot of money.
Yeah.
You poured a lot of money into the adults. You could be pouring that into the children.
Right.
So
Right.
that's one of my points.
And we have a long ways to go.
Yeah.
We have a long ways to go. Once we put the kids first and like, hey, what is this good for? That's what when I vote, I say, is this good for the kids? Is this going to benefit for the kids? If
Yeah.
it's not, And I've even said that. If it doesn't benefit the kids, don't ask me to vote on it because I'm not going to vote on it.
Yeah. Remember, a few years ago, everything was about the kids.
Yeah. It was
That's what they would always. That's what we would say, and that's what. Don't bring it unless it's about them. It doesn't seem like that no more.
It's.
It went back to. It feels like it went back to what it was a decade ago.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's kind of sad. We'll get there. We just got to get the right people in place.
Yeah, you gotta have the strong people.
And we got to have parents advocating for their kids. Yeah. Don't be afraid to ask questions. Ask. Why is this? Why is this? Why is this?
Yep.
Ask.
Yep.
And if you don't get the answer, go up the chain. If you don't get the answer, contact your board member.
Yep.
Contact your board. We answer to you guys.
Yeah.
We answer to you guys.
You're supposed to.
Yes.
And that reminds me, I got some emails to send out tonight.
Uh-oh. I hope I'm not on the email list.
No, but my representative is. And I'm going to demand some answers.
Yeah. All parents advocate. If you guys need something in the district, advocate. You need it. It's needed. It's for the kids. Let's get it.
Yeah.
There is a supply fund, right?
Yes.
A budget? Okay.
And Superintendent Gomes has shown me the budget for them, and it's actually very gracious, very I don't know why people are not tapping into that.
Well,
he provides supplies, money for supplies and stuff like that. Unless I'm wrong, it's very, very gracious.
It's just conflicting because even last year and the year before, they're still asking for kids to take supplies.
See that
for certain projects.
Yeah, that should not be happening. If the parents are being asked to take the kids for a school function or supplies, like I had somebody say, "Oh, the kids had to buy their own this and that." We have a budget for that.
Mm-hmm. Well, you remember when there was a lot of money that came into the district with COVID. When we were there and we started telling them, "Don't ask the parents for anything."
Right.
And then there was a lot of pushback.
Yes.
Hey, how come the parents aren't allowed to donate?
Yeah.
Well, you could donate, but why should you if we have a ton of money for it?
Right. So when I see stuff,
and it's their own money.
Yeah. Well, it's
It's their own community money.
So what happened is, I think there's a lot of people in the district were used to it.
Yes.
But they try to make it sound like it was a bad thing. Wait a minute, we have extra money.
Right.
Why is Caesar having to pay $1?
Right.
So
Right.
no,
They already paid that $1.
Yeah, you already paid it. That's actually your money anyway. It's taxpayer money. So depending on how you see it, it's taxpayer money.
So the parents need to keep asking why.
Yeah.
Why is this happening? Why? Until we get answers.
Yeah.
Because even I don't know everything.
Yeah. No, but you'll go and find out.
I'll ask myself.
Yeah. So that's the way to do it.
And if you're a board member and you're not researching, you're not reading, you're not
answering your constituents.
Yeah. Or you're just not
That's why you have your job.
What do you mean?
Why you have your job because we voted for you.
Yes.
To do a certain job.
Right.
So like, hey, we're all proud of you. Hey, Rosemary's been doing a hell of a good job.
Right.
I'm disgusted with my guy.
Yeah.
He's done a crappy job.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
But
well, and the votes prove it. You're not just talking.
No, you see status quo. You see appeasement. This is my personal opinion. I see appeasement. I see one person working for the people.
Yeah.
It's obvious. It's 4-1. And then you see a meeting with 3 inviting somebody. Oh. What it looks like to me is, hey, Rosemary's a pain because she's asking questions. She's not following the flow. We want somebody else. That's what I see when they have a special meeting like that.
Well, that's a meeting. Get somebody out that's working for the kids.
Yeah.
Basically.
Yeah. You're making us look bad because we're not.
Yeah.
Right.
Exactly.
That's the way I take it.
Right.
They need to answer. They should answer for that.
Prove it otherwise.
Yeah. I was told by I probably shouldn't share this, but I'm going to anyways. I was told by someone, whatever happens in the back, we come back and we look united. I'm not going to do that.
Okay, I'm glad you brought that up.
I'm not going to do that. If I didn't like it behind the scenes, I'm sure as heck not going to go out there and say
So they asked you to lie to the people.
I'm not going to do that.
So I had done a video years ago. I think it's episode 10. I talk about that.
Yeah.
How they wanted me to vote a certain way so that people understand. This is what you're talking about. That some of the members are embarrassed, but they want to look united. This is when I was there. Hey, Roger, you don't you feel the way you do, but when we go in front of the public, we want a 5-0 board. That way, it's harder for anybody to say anything. That's what they would tell us. So you're asking me to lie.
Yeah.
But I never did, and you're saying that's what's happening to you.
Yeah.
You're not going to lie to the people.
I'm not.
So the people need to know that you've been asked to lie to them.
They've
That's
asked.
disgusting. Whoever told you that is full of crap, and it's disgusting.
Yeah. I just said no. I'm not going to do that.
Yeah, you shouldn't do that.
I'm not.
And you should make sure to tell every single person that you talk to when you campaign that you've been asked to lie, and you said no. Hey, there's nothing wrong with sharing that at all. I did videos on that.
Yeah.
Hey, that's shameful for them.
So I just...
They want you to give away your integrity so you look united with them.
Right. I'm not doing that.
No. And what that really does, because when that happened to me, what they were trying to tell me is, hey, we want to look united, so it'll look bad if we have one guy saying something else, like, hey, it's not right. But if we all say it's right, then it's right. No one's going to say nothing.
Right.
So that's why they do that, but
Yeah.
it's wrong. It's wrong to do that.
Right.
I never thought they would do that. You know, after
you?
after I left, I thought, no, they just did it because
No.
But that's sad to hear that they did that to you.
Yeah.
It's actually disgusting that they did that to you.
And
don't tell me who told you that.
I can't.
Yeah, and don't, because it's gonna be a big deal.
Yeah. No, it's just you know. If I have to go against the grain for what my belief and conviction is, then I'm going to do it.
Yeah.
And people need to know that.
Yeah. So you answer the people, but you have your own morals and integrity.
Right.
You know, I'm bothered that they told you that because I know how that feels.
Yeah.
It happened.
Yeah. So, but
Well,
anyways,
thank you for having integrity.
I don't know. I don't know about that. I messed up quite a bit, but
no. But you're trying to do the right thing, and you know that they're asking you to lie,
right?
And you're saying no.
Right.
It's awesome. Wow. You're a chaplain too,
That
right?
one. I'm a what?
Chaplain.
A chaplain? Yes, I am.
There you go. So you can't lie. You're not supposed to.
I want to lie sometimes, but I don't. Everybody keeps me in check. But yeah. So I have quite a few irons in the fire.
Yeah.
So it keeps me busy, out of trouble.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, once again, thank you for
being there for law enforcement.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
That's a big deal.
Yeah.
It's a big deal.
I love it.
Yeah, you do have a lot of irons in the fire. Health board.
Yeah.
Wow.
Foster Care Oversight Committee.
Yeah. Health board president.
Chairperson. Yes.
Chair. Wow, that's a big deal too.
I know. I think it's gone. I think that it's moved in a positive manner. I hope we can keep that momentum.
Well, we'll do a video on it because there's some changes that are happening.
Yeah.
And I think there's going to be some people are going to try to change it.
Right.
And it's obvious by who's in there.
Right.
Wow.
Well.
Wow, that's great, man. That was a great conversation.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Ash, it was cool.
Ash, Ash, who are you going to vote for? If you can vote,
where's
would you vote for Mrs. Alanis? Oh, right there. This is who he's going to vote for. Hold it up, man. Hold it. There you go, man. All right.
Well, thank you guys for asking me to come tonight.
Yeah, for sure.
Anytime.
That was awesome.
And please reach out if you guys have any questions or concerns.
Yeah, and check it out. One take. We don't do no takes. This is all from the hip.
Yeah.
A couple little side notes, but that's it.
Yeah.
So that's pretty cool.
It was pretty
you got
easy.
the real Rosemary here.
Yeah, we don't do redos.
It is what it is.
It is what it is.
Yeah, people in the garage talking.
I know, but man, your camera makes me look like a gorilla or like a big old.
Wait, what are you laughing at?
I have my wrestling arms right there.
Nah, we're good, man.
Good. Hey, it's fluffy season coming up.
Yeah. All right, guys. Well, like, subscribe, and see you next time. Couple weeks, maybe.
Yeah,
All right.
for sure. Thank you.